about it. And the first night on the first shoot, the police came to my friend's door and said, you can't be making, you can't be trespassing. And so we realized we were touching on something. Fast forward to a decade later, and I realized I didn't just want to make a movie that complained about a problem. I wanted to help change the law. And in those early meetings, there was so much anger in the room from people who didn't want a law limiting house size and from those of us that did. And I realized early on, with the help of someone who followed me out in the parking lot to tell me that when I was so angry, I was ineffective, that people stopped listening. And so then I started listening, and I was glad I did, because the other side really only had 3 reasons that we shouldn't limit house size. The first one was jobs. If you limit the house size, you're going to take jobs away from us. And I want my kid to go to college, and we want to go on vacation. And we were pretty quick to bat that one back, because the jobs don't go away. People they can still build. We were just trying to pass a limit on the really big homes that disturb the sense of place. So jobs weren't going to go away. And quite frankly, on the vineyard, a lot of people come on the island to work. The locals here can't fulfill the jobs now. And the second thing was, what about property values? And that was something that really scared a lot of people. Listen, this is my nest egg. We're land rich and cash poor, and I want to be able to sell this someday. And if you're going to put limits on what a person can do, you're going to hurt my nest egg. You're going to hurt my retirement. And we proved by doing some research and talking to assessors and real estate agents that by actually limiting house size, you just like, as you were just saying in San Francisco, this sense that the town's not going to be ruined, that there is a sense of place, actually preserves the property values in the long run. Sure, in the short run, you can make quick profits if you just want to build as big as you can. But in the long run, I think we've proven that the property values are maintained and actually continue to increase. And the last one was really the one that we heard kind of at every meeting from someone was, it's a free country. This is my land. Who are you to tell me what to do with it? And that's really the easiest one to beat back, because it's not a free country. We have zoning laws all over the country. You can't build a Walmart in your backyard. It's just not right. And why I mentioned those 3 points is because after 12 years of making my film and 3 years of traveling around the country, the story you just told tonight, Peter, I can't even count how many times I've heard that. And the only thing that affects change is people like you going to the appropriate boards and setting some reasonable limits. That's it. And in the towns that do that, they're maintained their sense of place. And the towns that don't, it goes away. It's really that simple. When I was a young man with more hair and more anger in me, I couldn't see that. I thought it was this big complicated issue, but it really wasn't. It really was about the people standing up to determine their own community's destiny. And so for me, when I travel with the film, I'm not trying to talk to people about how big house size should be. I'm a cheerleader for people who want to fight for community and for sense of place. That's what motivates me. So if a town wants to be Las Vegas, more power to you. If you want to be East Hampton, okay, I guess that's great. But I think people just have to realize that they determine their community's destiny. And if they don't do something, if the citizens don't step in, the market will. And I think we can all agree, or many of us can, that that's not pretty. If you just sell and you just think like a developer with profit in mind and not community, it really does go away. And so that's, I think, my closing word is that this, even though there's my 5 minutes, even though it was sticky at first, this passing of a bylaw to limit house size, it really has united us, because even the people that thought they wanted bigger homes, now they actually, some of them have said, it was great because we had to get creative. We only had a limited footprint to work within, and everyone's kind of sharing in the joy of passing some kind of reasonable limit. Thank you.